Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, life keeps knocking you down, leaving you exhausted, frustrated, and questioning whether it's even worth continuing? Imagine standing at the edge of another failure, feeling the weight of disappointment pressing down, and yet, deep inside, a small voice whispers, "Keep going." That voice, that stubborn spark of hope, is the one thing that separates those who give up from those who ultimately succeed. Today, I want you to understand something vital. Success is not a straight path, and failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. I want you to watch this video until the end, because by the time we finish, you will see your struggles in a new light, as stepping stones rather than dead ends. You will realize that your setbacks do not define you. Your determination does. And if you feel that even the smallest spark of motivation is fading, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, because these reflections are designed to remind you daily that your journey matters, that your effort is never wasted, and that each day is a chance to rise again. Remember this: what seems like defeat today may be the foundation of the triumph you will celebrate tomorrow. I want you to imagine for a moment that every mistake you've made, every decision that didn't turn out as you hoped, isn't a mark of weakness, but a lesson carefully placed along your path. Life often tries to convince us that failure is the end, that each setback is a signal to stop, to settle, to shrink away. But let me tell you this as someone who has faced countless disappointments. It is in these moments of apparent defeat that your character is forged. When your plans fall apart, when doors close and your efforts seem wasted, you have a choice. You can let discouragement settle in, or you can rise, dust yourself off, and move forward with renewed clarity. Ask yourself, what can this teach me about my resilience, about my priorities, about the way I face challenges? Every time you fail and keep trying, you are building strength invisible to the world, but vital to your own growth. Remember, enthusiasm is not a fleeting feeling. It is a practice, a commitment to keep moving even when the path is unclear. Reflect on the last time you faced a disappointment. Did it stop you, or did it push you to adapt, to rethink, to grow stronger? The energy you choose to carry through each failure will define the trajectory of your life, far more than the failures themselves. I want you to take a moment and reflect on the energy you bring to each day, to each challenge, to each attempt that doesn't yet yield the results you desire. Resilience is not simply enduring, it is choosing to act with purpose, even when the outcome is uncertain. You see, enthusiasm is not something that magically appears when the path is smooth. It is forged in the moments when the world tests you, when every step forward feels heavier than the last. I want you to imagine your failures as the rough drafts of your success. Each misstep, each disappointment is shaping you, revealing what you are capable of, and teaching you lessons that no success could ever offer. Ask yourself honestly, do I fear failure or do I fear remaining unchanged? Because the one thing that truly limits you is stagnation, the silent surrender that comes when you let discouragement take hold. Think about the times you've pushed through discomfort, times you felt that you couldn't possibly continue, yet somehow you did. Those moments are evidence of your inner strength, proof that you can endure more than you think. And every failure, every setback, is merely a mirror reflecting areas for growth, skills to refine, patience to cultivate, and wisdom to acquire. Enthusiasm in the face of repeated failure is not blind optimism. It is conscious choice, a daily commitment to act despite uncertainty. Consider, for instance, how many times you might have abandoned a goal prematurely, only to realize later that persistence would have revealed a solution, an opportunity, or a breakthrough. Now imagine if, instead, you had leaned into the discomfort, embraced the lessons of each failure, and carried forward the momentum you already possessed. Let me challenge you further. How would your life transform if you saw every setback as a rehearsal for your ultimate success? If you understood that failure does not diminish your worth, but refines it, teaches you patience, and prepares you for greater responsibility and achievement? The world often praises only the visible triumphs, but the quiet victories, the decision to rise one more time, to act one more time, to continue when the heart is heavy, these are the acts that build the foundation for extraordinary accomplishments. I ask you to reflect deeply. Where in your life have you let the fear of failure dim your enthusiasm? What small, deliberate steps can you take today to reclaim that energy, to remind yourself that your journey is yours to shape, and that each failure is simply a teacher disguised as disappointment. By embracing this perspective, you are not only strengthening your resilience, you are learning to live with courage, with purpose, and with the understanding that enthusiasm is the most powerful tool in your arsenal. Now I want you to look closely at the obstacles that have challenged you, the failures that have made your heart heavy and your spirit weary. I want you to see them not as walls, but as stepping stones, carefully placed to guide you toward growth you might not have anticipated. Life often disguises opportunity within hardship, and it is only when we choose to move forward, despite the discomfort, that we uncover the lessons embedded in each experience. Ask yourself, what does this moment teach me about patience, about strategy, about perseverance? Every failure, no matter how painful, carries within it a lesson that can transform the way you approach your next endeavor. The key is to embrace each setback with curiosity rather than resentment, with determination rather than despair. Remember, enthusiasm is not the absence of failure. It is the deliberate decision to keep showing up, to keep believing in the value of your journey, and to keep shaping your future with intention. Think about the times you have hesitated, allowing doubt or fear to paralyze you. Now imagine if in those moments you had leaned into the challenge instead of retreating. How different would your life be today if each failure had been met with unwavering determination rather than silent surrender? This is not theoretical. It is entirely within your control. Each day offers a new opportunity to approach life with resilience, to take calculated risks, and to embrace mistakes as signposts rather than punishments. I encourage you to reflect on the patterns in your own life. Where have you allowed past disappointments to dictate your future actions? Where have you abandoned a path too soon, only to later realize that persistence would have led to a breakthrough? Understanding these patterns is the first step toward breaking them, toward cultivating a mindset that transforms fear into action and hesitation into momentum. You must also consider the influence of your thoughts in these moments. Enthusiasm and resilience are nourished by the way you speak to yourself, by the stories you tell yourself about your abilities, your failures, and your potential. When you view each misstep as an inevitable part of your growth, when you remind yourself that setbacks are temporary and teachable, you are cultivating a mental landscape where perseverance thrives. I ask you to practice this intentionally. The next time a failure confronts you, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I use it to move closer to my goals? By doing so, you are not merely enduring challenges, you are actively transforming them into the very tools that will elevate you, that will sharpen your judgment, and that will strengthen your capacity for sustained success. Consider, finally, the ripple effect of embracing this mindset. When you face life's difficulties with determination and maintain your enthusiasm despite repeated setbacks, you inspire not only yourself, but those around you. Your courage becomes contagious. Your ability to rise after failure shows others that adversity is not a sentence, but an invitation to grow, to refine, and to pursue excellence relentlessly. Ask yourself, what example am I setting with my reactions to setbacks? What legacy of resilience and purpose am I cultivating through the choices I make in the face of difficulty? By internalizing these reflections, you are not merely surviving your challenges. You are actively shaping a life defined by courage, wisdom, and unwavering resolve. A life where failure is never final, but a critical part of the journey toward the success that awaits you. I want you to imagine for a moment that your life is a long journey through uncharted terrain, and that each setback, each failure, is a marker showing you where you've been and hinting at where you must go next. It is easy to feel lost when the path is obscured by disappointment, when your plans crumble and your expectations are unmet. Yet it is precisely in these moments that clarity and focus become your greatest allies. You see, enthusiasm alone is not enough. It must be guided by purpose. Ask yourself, what do I truly want to achieve? What kind of person do I wish to become? Failure, when approached correctly, sharpens this vision, helping you distinguish between what is essential and what is distraction, between fleeting setbacks and the enduring lessons that will carry you forward. Think back to moments when a particular challenge threatened to derail you, yet somehow you found a way to keep your eyes on your long-term goals. That persistence, that ability to navigate through temporary darkness, is the hallmark of resilience. Every failure teaches you not only what does not work, but also what you value most deeply, what you are willing to fight for, and where your priorities truly lie. Do not underestimate the power of this insight. Reflect honestly on your past choices. Which failures have clarified your purpose? Which missteps have revealed hidden strengths, untapped reserves of patience, or the courage to persevere when hope seems distant? By examining these moments with intention, you turn the chaos of setbacks into a roadmap for self-improvement and strategic action. Enthusiasm sustained through repeated failures is anchored by this clarity of purpose. It allows you to act with confidence, knowing that even if the results are not immediate, every step taken in alignment with your vision is progress. Ask yourself, how often have I allowed temporary disappointments to cloud my long-term perspective, to sway me from pursuing what I know deep within is right for me? By keeping your focus firmly on your goals, you transform each failure into a rehearsal, a preparation for the ultimate achievement that awaits you. Consider that true growth is rarely linear. It is measured in moments of persistence, in the courage to rise again after each fall, and in the willingness to continue even when the path seems uncertain. Moreover, maintaining this focus requires patience and self-compassion. You must forgive yourself for missteps, not as a license to repeat them, but as a recognition that learning is a process, that mastery takes time, and that every attempt, whether successful or not, builds your capacity to act with wisdom. The next time a setback confronts you, pause and ask, what can I learn from this? How does this failure shape my strategy and strengthen my resolve? In doing so, you cultivate a mindset that not only endures challenges, but converts them into opportunities for insight, growth, and long-lasting enthusiasm. And remember, the measure of your life will not be the failures themselves, but the courage, focus, and unwavering commitment with which you navigate them. Finally, reflect on the influence your example has on those around you. When you maintain clarity and purpose, despite repeated setbacks, you inspire resilience in others, and you demonstrate that true success is not defined by the absence of failure, but by the steadfastness of spirit. Ask yourself, am I living as a beacon of perseverance, showing that setbacks are temporary and that growth, strength, and eventual triumph are available to all who choose to persist with focus, courage, and unrelenting enthusiasm? By holding this vision, by keeping your eyes on your long-term path, you transform every failure into a vital step toward the life you are capable of creating. I want you to take a deep breath and consider the storms you have weathered, the moments when despair seemed ready to claim you, and the failures that threatened to extinguish your spirit. It is in these moments, more than any others, that your emotional balance becomes your greatest ally. Understand that resilience is not only about action, it is about the mastery of your inner world, the ability to remain steady and purposeful even when external circumstances are turbulent. Ask yourself, how often have I allowed frustration, anger, or doubt to dictate my choices? How often have I reacted impulsively, only to realize later that patience and reflection would have served me far better? The strength you cultivate in these quiet internal battles is the very foundation upon which lasting success is built. Life will continue to test you, to challenge your expectations, and to confront you with situations that feel unfair or overwhelming. Yet, maintaining enthusiasm through repeated failures requires the deliberate practice of self-control, the conscious decision to respond rather than react, to act in alignment with your goals rather than surrendering to temporary emotions. I want you to picture yourself as a steady flame, resilient against the gusts of disappointment, illuminating a path forward, not just for yourself, but for those who look to you for inspiration. Each setback you face, when met with composure and intentionality, becomes a teacher, showing you what matters most, clarifying your priorities, and strengthening your capacity to act wisely in future moments of challenge. Consider also the power of hope, not as naive optimism, but as a guiding force that propels you forward even when the outcome is uncertain. Hope allows you to envision the life you are striving for, to see beyond present struggles, and to act with courage despite them. Ask yourself, am I allowing hope to guide my actions, or am I letting fear and past failures dictate my path? By consciously choosing hope, you maintain the energy necessary to move from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm, transforming adversity into opportunity and frustration into insight. Reflect on the times you have clung to hope during dark periods. Didn't those moments ultimately shape your resilience, reveal your strength, and prepare you for the victories that followed? It is also essential to cultivate self-compassion along this journey. Do not judge yourself harshly for missteps or temporary setbacks. Instead, treat each experience as a lesson, an opportunity to refine your judgment, to strengthen your discipline, and to deepen your understanding of your own capabilities. In doing so, you transform failure into a mirror, reflecting not your shortcomings but the path to mastery. Every moment of composure, every deliberate choice to rise again, reinforces the inner structures that make sustained enthusiasm possible. Ask yourself, am I nurturing the resilience that allows me to face challenges calmly, to act wisely, and to preserve my energy for the battles that truly matter? Finally, remember this truth: your journey is yours alone, but the way you navigate it serves as a living example to the world. When you maintain hope, emotional balance, and self-control in the face of repeated failures, you demonstrate to yourself and others that life's setbacks are not permanent, that success is measured not by the absence of difficulty, but by the strength, courage, and perseverance with which you rise each time you fall. You are capable of enduring more than you think, achieving more than you imagine, and inspiring more than you realize, all because you chose, again and again, to keep your enthusiasm alive. As we reach the close of this reflection, I want you to hold on to a single truth. Life's setbacks do not define you, your response to them does. Every failure you have endured, every challenge that has tested your patience, every moment when your enthusiasm waned only to be rekindled, these are the building blocks of your character, the evidence of your courage, and the foundation of your eventual success. You may not see it now, but the persistence you cultivate through repeated attempts, the resilience you strengthen by continuing despite disappointment, and the wisdom you acquire from every misstep are shaping a life of strength, purpose, and fulfillment. Remember, true growth is not instantaneous. It is the result of countless small acts of perseverance, each one adding weight to the person you are becoming. I ask you to reflect on your own journey. Consider the obstacles you have overcome, the lessons you have learned, and the strength that resides within you waiting to be fully realized. How would your life change if you approached every failure, not with fear or resignation, but with curiosity and determination, knowing that each attempt brings you closer to your goals? By embracing this mindset, you transform not only your results, but the very experience of living, cultivating an inner power that no setback can diminish and no doubt can extinguish. Enthusiasm, courage, and resilience are habits, practices you choose to cultivate every day, and the more you exercise them, the stronger they become. And now, let me give you one last encouragement. Continue to act, to dream, to rise again and again. Let your failures teach you, let your setbacks refine you, and let your determination illuminate the path forward. You are capable of more than you realize, and the life you seek, the achievements, the fulfillment, the impact, is built one deliberate choice at a time. If you have found value in this reflection, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and like this video, not as a mere click, but as a commitment to yourself. By doing so, you are choosing to surround yourself with perspectives that uplift, insights that guide, and reminders that your journey matters. Carry this with you. Every failure is temporary, every setback is a teacher, and your enthusiasm is the compass that will guide you from one challenge to the next. Keep moving forward, keep believing in your potential, and remember that success is not the absence of failure. It is the unwavering courage to continue, again and again, without ever losing your hope, your energy, or your belief in what you are capable of achieving. You are the protagonist of your own story, and it is a story of courage, growth, and triumph in the making.